Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I've got the post-Thanksgiving blues. Don't know what to do. The turkey's all gone, the cranberries too. I got the post-Thanksgiving blues. But it's Christmas parade week.
It is. It came around quick. I hope it stays sunny like this.
It's supposed to rain Friday night, 70%.
And if it's going to be this cold.
But as far as I know, I don't think we've ever canceled a Christmas parade.
I don't think so. And so are you going to video out here on the porch?
We'll be on the front porch.
That's good.
And this year it's starting it's starting at the high school and headed in the other direction.
And then I believe there's a mingle jingle party at the
Mingle jingle.
At the Civic Center.
Bring your dingle.
I meant to bring the poster about it all because there's so much going on.
So what's going on? What's going to be the attraction there?
The attraction
at the Mingle Jingle.
At the Mingle. Oh, I think it's just about the lighting of the tree and the trees of Christmas. I don't know how many, but the halls are lined with these beautiful trees, and which is wonderful.
Yes, and that's
all Thursday night.
That goes on
30th. Am I right?
Yeah, the lighting of the tree is the 30th. Parade's Friday night, the 1st.
Right.
And then Mingle Jingle is after the parade.
Right, and all of that goes on with the Christmas tree
inside.
Inside, right.
Right. So
many businesses, which we have to thank for.
Oh heavens, yes.
Coming in, and
there'll be
also
a judging.
Unique. There'll be a judging, and all the trees are unique and different. And I admire the artistry of the people.
It's really
that put
nice.
Those up.
Really
it's
nice.
Beautiful.
And I don't know if there's an event fee for that or not.
Well, I believe it's $5 to go in and do the trees, but I don't know if that's just open. I should know, but
guess what?
I don't know.
Go down there and find out.
Right.
Real simple.
But it's about raising money, I believe, for
South Jackson.
Well, partially, but we give some of it to another organization.
Okay.
That nonprofit that needs money.
Yeah.
And so it's $5 is. I think it's $20 for a family. If you have a family of 12.
Yeah, sure.
I think there's that kind of ticket.
Right.
So it's worth it, well worth it.
And there'll be libations.
Always.
There'll be food. I imagine there'll be some sort of snacks or something.
There'll be stuff for sale and maybe to give away.
And something else, and I know it's not December yet, but
almost.
You need to think about your New Year's Eve plans.
Right, and just grab a ticket and go to Bell Buckle Banquet
Hall.
We're doing. They have so much great food. It just absolutely overwhelms me. And tickets are on sale at Bell Buckle Banquet Hall.
You know, and it's a fun place to go. It's a wonderful venue. It's a 20-minute drive from here.
Right.
Through the countryside to a beautiful little place. Don't have to go all the way to Nashville or Chattanooga to hear big band music and dance. And that's the thing that's so much fun about that event, not just the food, but there are a whole lot of people down there that go down to dance. And they're very good dancers there.
Fabulous dancers.
But then there's folks like the rest of us who just want to hug one another and rock back and forth.
That's all right.
Not a thing in the world wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
No.
Oh, and it's a 1920s sort of event again.
Good.
They're using that theme again because it was so successful last year.
In that way, you might see some people in those costumes wearing the kind of clothes, vintage clothes and stuff that were worn back then. Which I think is always fun to see.
Yeah, it is fun to dress up. A lot of people love a theme party.
We don't dress up much anymore in our society.
And it's kind of nice to dress up once in a while.
It certainly is. I think so.
I think we need to promote that.
You know, I've always said if I were to win the lottery or any amount of money, have any type of very, very, very substantial windfall, I would go to New York and buy clothes.
I don't know. I might call them and tell them to send them
Uh,
out.
I've been to New York one time, and that's a place that I would really like to go back to. I'm not as mobile as I was the first time, but I would still like to go somewhere and have a couple of really nice suits made. And
I know it's nice to go somewhere where you really can find the best.
The best
but there's a lot
materials and-
available in Tullahoma, so I encourage people to shop all they can. In
oh
Tullahoma.
yeah, shop local, but there's really not anywhere local you can get a suit made.
But that's true. When I
Yeah.
was in Hong Kong, you could go into a dress shop and you could go into a men's shop. They'll measure you, you go back to your hotel and do whatever you want to do all day, and that night you've got all these new clothes that they
Oh,
put
yeah.
together. They do shoes, same way. They measured my feet, and I had some alligator shoes that night.
Yeah.
It was,
We
it
were
was an interesting place.
we were in Washington D.C. for a wedding, and we were going from up the hill, down the hill. I
Right.
can't remember exactly where it was, but it was going down. There's a town up here where a lot of people live, and then you're going through the old town and
old town.
old beautiful brownstone buildings and cottages and stuff. And I saw these suits: a pink one, a purple one, a yellow one, a lime green one, and a mustard color one, double-breasted.
They must make Steve Harvey's suits.
Yeah, and so I pulled the chain on the bus and got off and went in there, and I had a suit fitted in there, and it's the same. It's at South Jackson now. It's that double-breasted mustard
Yeah,
suit
that's a fabulous
I used to
suit.
wear for when we were doing the Colonel Condiment
Right.
for the Parmark commercial, and I was Mr. Mustard or something like that. And it was the same way. I mean, you stopped in there and they measured you up. 3 hours later,
You
they
had a
just
suit.
knock on the door at your hotel room. Here's your clothes.
But isn't it great?
Yeah.
There's somebody
Yeah,
that could
wonderful.
do that.
Wonderful.
I miss that. But then again, I come out of the Philippine Islands and all my homemade clothes, which I thought were fabulous. And I was so out of sync with what was
What's
popular.
here?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
yeah. I was a bit behind because, we weren't even getting real TV over there. We had a little TV station on the base,
Right.
which I worked in, believe it or not.
I bet you
And
did.
I can't remember
Good morning,
what
Peggy.
caused me to do that, but
Good morning, Peggy.
something
Still
like
doing
that.
it.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I try to recover a lot of memories. Sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't. Do you think I got a loose screw in my brain? Very likely.
Not any different ones than have been there forever.
There's some things.
Ralph used to be able to keep them pretty tight, though.
Right.
Ralph could tighten them up for you.
He could always remember. I think there are things during wars that you want to forget, so you don't
Right,
remember.
sure,
all.
for sure.
You try to remember the good part. That's kind of what keeps you from going nuts.
Yeah, so, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We do need to give thanks for a couple of things.
One, for being alive and well in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Yeah. Life is filled with sacrifices. You know that?
Yes, it is.
Some given for good, some taken in vain. Significant are those given by the turkey, without which there would be no turkey sandwiches.
Your own sandwiches again. You love your turkey sandwich.
Yes, ma'am. Clowns abound. Tiny cars buzzing around. Frozen queens in convertibles. Fire trucks, church floats, blanketed bodies line the streets. Vendors with balloons, popcorn, and treats. A marching band. An old fat elf waves his hand. His naughty his naughty or nice list is made. Small town Christmas parade.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Not at all.
Lord, please help me find peace of mind. I daily see the blessed three, hope the hand that pushes us on, faith the wind that won't let us fall, and love, love, the greatest of them all, where we find peace.
Nice.
Legacy, property, smooth upper class, wrong but strong and dependable, loves to kick ass. From people to whiskey, the decision is tough. The fun lies with the one that's just refined enough.
That's good. I like that.
So
So it's good to be refined a little.
you can be a little too refined,
Yeah,
you know, if you want to have some fun. Let's see here what we got. Getting ready for Christmas right here. If the first Noel was this Christmas Eve, what would it take to make you believe? When he comes, how would you know? Not from the TV, newspaper, or radio, because it won't happen in a castle or mansion uptown, but a mission shelter with the homeless around. So what will it take for you to understand that just outside your comfort zone is born the Son of Man? Will you believe the rumors and the stories the strangers tell? Will you hear the angels sing at the next Noel? Or will you be too busy and so self-absorbed that you miss the greatest gift to man from our Lord, the Son and the Savior, that was sent to you and me? Open your heart. Be part of the history. That's what it will take for you to understand that just outside your comfort zone is born the Son of Man. If you believe and search beyond what the pundits sell, you will hear the angels sing at the next Noel. Just believe he was conceived to shoulder all man's hell, and you will hear the angels sing at the next Noel. We'll be back after these messages.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, there's always a competition between Tullahoma and Manchester for some reason, I guess because they're the two cities in the county.
Right.
And it's always trying to one-up each other. Has been for years. And Manchester,
is that happening with
they got us years ago when they started doing their Christmas parade a week before we do.
Yeah.
So Philip Scoggins was over in Manchester. They had their Christmas parade this past weekend on Saturday, and we're here with some video for you.
Coffee County Central High School Band. This year's parade is Judge Gerald Buell. Stick around after the parade and Judge Gerald will be lighting the giant Christmas tree on the courthouse lawn. Hey Judge! Manchester City Mayor Marilyn Howard. Terrific pretzel salad. Coffee County Bears of the Bear, Ryan Green. Jester float. Universal Impact Technology. Kansas Community Kids Home. That is a club winner.
This time I'm gonna get that football clear to the moon!
Santa Claus Marine Company. Gregory's Beach Road Country Store. That's a big old biscuit. That is your large float third place winner at Gregory's Beach Road Country Store.
Hey boys, I'll tell you what. You can each open a present while we're waiting for the next course. And the City of Manchester Christmas boat. Santa! Don't forget, the tree lighting's happening on the courthouse lawn, that big tree. Your Grand Marshal of the parade is gonna light that tree.
Let's gather around the tree for the tree lighting. All right, let's count down from 10. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas!
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Okay.
All right, Peggy, one of the things that has happened around our area here that I think is an absolutely wonderful thing is the organization Blue Monarch.
It is a great organization.
Which is an organization that takes women who have addiction problems and have lost their children, have been separated from their children, and they take them in and they put them through the program to where the court system will let them, after so long, have their children back, and they stay there at Blue Monarch until they go through the course. And the children are safe. They're in beautiful little houses, and Susan Brinley is the person whose dream that was, and I was over at the Yellow Tulip, and that was last week, and she was there with a book signing.
Oh.
And about the Blue Monarch and how all of that happened. I'm reading the book right now, and it's an incredible story, but and she's an incredible lady. But you need to find out about Blue Monarch. You know, they do a lot of things. One of the things they do when the people, their ladies get back out of jail, if they go to jail or something, they make a granola there. So they have their own company, their own production to where these women go to work there and they get paid. So they're learning what it means to be responsible members of society and the fight to get off of addictive drugs. And a lot of them are opioids that are prescribed for surgery and pain that people get on. And then again, a lot of them are fun drugs, supposedly, but the fun drugs of the 60s didn't kill people like they do now.
Like they do today.
You know, they're cutting all of that stuff with fentanyl, and fentanyl will kill you immediately. But it's a wonderful story. She's a wonderful story. The product they have at Blue Monarch, find out about Blue Monarch. And I was over at the Yellow Tulip the other day for the book signing and had an interview with her. A delightful woman, and a woman of purpose, and a woman who has taken that purpose and turned it into success.
Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the Yellow Tulip today, and there's a book signing in here by the incredible lady who founded the Blue Monarch. And we're going to go in and get an interview with her and see what's going on. And it's book signing day at the Tulip. Look at these lovely ladies right here. What's going on? Let me have a clue. Tell us.
Today is Susan Binkley, the founder of Blue Monarch. Today she's having a book signing up here at Blue Monarch. And we are extremely excited because, as I said before, Susan is kind of a private person. Well, today as she's signing books, people get the opportunity to actually meet the founder and the person that had the vision and created this great work.
And I think you two are a great example of what's going on.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Miss Susan is signing books today at the Yellow Tulip, and just a wonderful, wonderful story. The book is incredible about her journey and the way she came up with the Blue Monarch concept, and how through drive and passion brought the Blue Monarch into existence and making it today one of the most successful ventures of its sort in the Tennessee area. All right, here we are right now with Miss Susan, and look, what a wonderful picture right here. Right over her shoulder, her right shoulder, is Santa Claus, and the one who brings gifts to us all, and this lady right here is responsible for some of the greatest gifts I've ever seen. Miss Susan, how in the world did you come up with the concept for Blue Monarch?
Oh, my word. Well, I'm going to give you the short version. Yeah. We don't have time for the long version, but
buy the book.
Buy the book to get the whole version. But I guess it's been almost 28 years ago, and I had an incredible, powerful dream one night. And in this dream, I was expected to read a big, thick book that explained in detail how you would put something like Blue Monarch together. And it even described how the women would be employed by producing a product. And so when I woke up, I thought, man, that's a powerful dream, but it has nothing to do with my life because it's all about helping women and children, and I didn't particularly care for either. And so, thankfully, God's healed me of that. But so over the next few years, the dream actually came true, and it fell into place in the most miraculous way. It was an incredible spiritual journey for me. And so several years after that, we started Blue Monarch, and this is our 20th year, and we've served almost 1,000 women and children. And then the thing that I'm most excited about is that almost 350 children have been reunited with their mothers.
Yes.
Who had lost custody.
Yes.
So.
Well, all I can say is thank you for what you've done for our region, and the young ladies that I deal with that have been through your program. It's just unbelievable what it's done for their life.
Yeah.
And what I'd like for you to do right now, if you would, for me, is get one of those books.
Yeah.
I'm H-less John Gray, Jon Gray. Sign one for me because I would love to purchase your book. I want to read it and learn.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Miss Susan, for what you do. Let me see you sign that thing.
Okay.
We got to get that. This is a book signing at the Yellow Tulip. And also, I look over here while she's doing that, and I see the granola that was brought to our television station the other day that you produce there, so you're producing products on site as well.
Yes.
To help fund your job.
Well, it provides employment for the women while they're in our program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Okay,
You thought of all of it. Jon Gray.
Awesome.
Thank you, dear.
And you get a free bag of granola with this book.
They gave me some.
Okay.
But thank you, and
All
just
keep on keeping on, girl. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Mall. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, John Rickman here.
And this is Pat Welch, and John, we're here under probationary status from after segment 88. We're now 89, and we have cleared management to continue on. Hopefully we'll get the green light from here to 100.
We're not going to mention snakes for a while.
No, I hope not.
Back in the 50s, late 50s, I guess, early 60s, but I believe it was late 50s, Robert Mitchum had a movie called Thunder Road. He was a young man who drove a load of whiskey to the place he was carrying it for his daddy. His daddy made the whiskey, and he was the driver in a souped-up car. And I think probably a lot of kids back that time had souped-up cars and had it weighted down in the back, just like Robert Mitchum might have back that time. But,
where was the location supposed to have been?
North Carolina and East Tennessee. The song. Okay. What is amazing to me, Robert Mitchum wrote this song. Now I might not sing it just right because there's a lot of words, goes pretty quick, but I'll try my best. And
well, let me interject something that might be of a little bit of interest. Do you know which county in the United States killed more federal agents during Prohibition than any county?
Franklin County, Virginia.
Bingo. Obviously, I've told you that before.
No, you didn't tell me. I just know.
Okay. Well, that you're a man of great higher learning.
I watched the movie Lawless. Rough movie, but it was in Franklin County. More whiskey was made illegally.
It was incredible. I have been to Franklin County, Virginia, and it is in the very, very rural, and there's more gravel roads by far than there are paved roads, and there are hairpin turns and everywhere. It'd be a great place for somebody to hide his steel. Do you know the county seat of Franklin County, Virginia?
No.
Rocky Mount.
Oh, North Carolina?
Rocky Mount, Virginia.
Oh,
it's the county seat.
Wrong state. My wife's father was an alcoholic. He learned to be an alcoholic drinking from his daddy's still in Livingston, Tennessee. From Livingston. And he liked the taste of alcohol, and his daddy made the whiskey, and he became an alcoholic and broke up that marriage. My wife's mother's and father's
Bless his heart.
Yeah, but this little song about Thunder Road. Let me tell the story, I can tell it all, about the mountain boy who sold us ran illegal alcohol. His daddy made the whiskey, the son he ran the load, and when his engine roared, they called the highway Thunder Road. And there was thunder, thunder, oh, the Thunder Road. Thunder was his engine, and white lightning was his load. And there was moonshine, moonshine quenched the devil's thirst. The law, they swore they'd get him, but the devil got him first. In the month of April 1954, the federal man sent word, you'd better make your run no more. They sent 300 agents covering up the state. Whichever road he took, they'd get him sure as fate. Son, his daddy told him, make this run your last. Your tank is filled with 100 proof, you're all tuned up and gassed. Now don't take any chances if you can't get through. I'd rather have you back again than all that Mountain Dew. And there was thunder, thunder, oh, the Thunder Road. Thunder was his engine, and white lightning was his load. And there was moonshine, moonshine quenched the devil's thirst. The law, they swore they'd get him, but the devil got him first. Rolling out of Asheville, revving up his mill, he shot the gap at Cumberland and screamed down Maynard Hill. G-men on his taillights, roadblocks up ahead. The mountain boy took roads that even angels fear to tread. Then outside of Knoxville, out on Kingston Pike, just outside of Bearden, he made his final strike. He left the road at 90, that's all there is to say. The devil got the whiskey and the mountain boy the day. And there was thunder, thunder, oh, the Thunder Road. Thunder was his engine, and white lightning was his load. And there was moonshine, moonshine to quench the devil's thirst. The law, they swore they'd get him, but the devil got him first.
That was an absolute classic, John. And
Robert Mitchum would be proud, wouldn't he?
Recent employment and my travels in East Tennessee, I've been in several of those spots, Maynardville, Kingston Pike.
Yeah.
I can promise you one thing, though, there's a vast difference between Maynardville and Kingston Pike and Knoxville today. One of them is a center of retail, and the other is extremely rural.
Well, that song took a little longer than some others, so we better get right to the subject matter.
Any segue today, John?
That was not a good segue because this man, he was good as gold. He was a Tullahoma native. There's nothing about what we sang about that even compares, you might say. We're going to talk today about Bob Couch. Everybody loved Bob. And he has a program on P-Head Productions, just kind of like what we do.
Well, let's set the record straight on that too, John. A lot of people think we came to be the new Bob Wave of Bob Couch and so forth. I can't do that one because there's only one Bob Couch, and we've got our own show. And please don't compare us, because if you do, me and you are going to be second fiddle.
And it takes two of us.
That's right.
And Bob could sit there by himself.
Two can't do the job of one.
But Bob, wonderful fella. Show that picture. In Bob's declining years, I was a Rotary program chairman, and we had that man that looks like Abraham Lincoln at our Rotary that day. And Bob was a Rotary member, always a Rotary member, and he was in bad health, and he was homebound at this point.
He would have had close to 50 years perfect attendance too, John.
Yes.
Anytime he was sick or something missed, he'd make it up in another town.
Dr. Jerry Kennedy next to me, and between Dennis Boggs is the fellow who portrays Lincoln. Speaks just like
he
him.
looks so close to Lincoln there that it almost looks like he's photoshopped in. That's him.
My sister-in-law was a principal at a school over in Lewisburg, and she had him come and speak to her students, and then he went all over Lewisburg talking about Lincoln and his and he'll give the Lincoln, like the Gettysburg Address and things like that. Just, and there's Dot on the left over there, and we just, that was a great day. That was a day that I'll always remember sitting there with Bob. Now, notice that clothespin on Bob's, on robe, on the holding the robe together.
Which he normally wore it on his tie at work, at couches. And
it was notes that he would.
He'd have
keep
4 or
himself.
5 stacked in there about call Kodak or call Miss Chrisman, or it was incredible.
In Rotary one day, I had him sign a clothespin, and I auctioned it there at Rotary, and I don't think it bought but maybe $5 or $10. I can't remember. I was sort of disappointed in
that would have done a whole lot of the polio vaccines in Third World.
But anyway, Bob had that clothespin on, and there was. I'll let you read that, Pat. And his mother, Belle.
Yeah, this is interesting. Which we never did. We just thought he just wore it for a joke. But his mother sent him to school with a clothespin on, and it was supposed to remind him of 3 things. Now, this is
what 3 things could it be?
This is a young man in elementary school whose mother has sent him to school with the 3 things he needs to always remember, reminded by a clothespin. Number 1, don't forget to blow your nose. Number 2, pull your socks up. Number 3, be nice to your teacher. Now, that would be 3 good things to remember for today.
Now, I want to go to that next picture, Philip. If you do those 3 things, they'll name a highway after you.
Or at least you'll be on the list as a possibility.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. I took that picture. I got a little cheap camera, but it came out pretty good. But that's Bob Couch Highway. That's down Jackson, looking up North Jackson. And Bob was such a wonderful person, and thank you, Philip, for that picture.
He was so open and so receptive to new people and to guests, and he sold Tullahoma, whether he was in Tullahoma or whether he was in Anchorage or whether he was in Singapore. He loved Tullahoma. And I can remember being at Couches one time, and there were 2 or 3 people in there, and somebody had just moved in. Now, remember, Bob would have really been busy at Couches during the expansion of AEDC and tremendous growth in Tullahoma. And there was some question about, I've been in Tullahoma so many years, am I a Tullahoman or am I a native, and they were all having a discussion about how long you had to live here, what you had to do, and that kind of thing, and before somebody would consider you native. And he piped up real quick. He said, listen, as soon as you can learn to spell Tullahoma and pronounce it, you're a native. So he, where some people, if you haven't been here 25 years, or if that's a barrier somebody put up, you're not really a Tullahoman. Bob took you just as soon as you came into town. That's the life he lived.
He was well recognized too at MTSU.
Oh yeah,
Middle Tennessee
he was
State.
a really active alumnus.
They walked him out on the football field one time, recognizing him for some particular facet of.
He won the Nunley Award.
Nunley Award, and we know Joe Nunley. We've talked about him before.
Right, and his
Nunley Award.
Father had been the principal at Forest and Chapel Hill, and then he was at a really active career at MTSU himself.
Bob's a wonderful guy, and Pat, we could go on and on about Bob Couch, and we love the man, and love Dot, and Candy and Fran, and they're great.
Well, what are you ready to close out? Because I've got one tidbit to offer that not many people knew, but back in the 40s and 50s, and he did a little bit in the early 60s, because I saw it one time. He did a comedy act off a diving board with a guy named Gene Boaz, and Bob did a lot of it later on by himself, but he was a really good acrobat, and they'd be on these really high dives on somebody told me Lake Tullahoma and Avoca. And he had a real old-style swimsuit down about his ankles and stripes on it, and covered all, his arms and so forth.
Trying to be modest.
Oh yeah, he'd go up and do all kinds of flips and stuff, and then do belly busters where you think, golly, how can man survive from that? But he was really a talented, interesting, and a great church person, first Christian, and just a welcoming, accepting person. He was really a neat guy.
He made Tullahoma great.
Oh, he was a great Tullahoma person.
Folks, that's it. We got to quit talking about Bob. We just go on and on about Bob.
And that was segment 89. And
I think
we
you're right,
hope, since we've done this segment on management's relative, that we won't have to go through probationary status but one time. We hope we're at number 90 on our own, because we got more stories to tell. Thank you all.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right,
Are we
we're
back?
back. Hey, we're back. We're back, and we have Miss Ashley Abraham here with us today.
Thank
and
you.
you are here with the United Way.
Yes, sir.
And we're talking today about what?
Well, we're talking today about some programs happening in the community.
Okay.
That way we make sure to get the word out. Talking about the Tullahoma Emergency Winter Program and also Operation Christmas today.
Operation Christmas.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, what is Operation Christmas? Tell me about it.
Well, I began this a couple of years back, and this year we started up again. We want to be able to provide Christmas trees and decor and just happy things that some people may not be able to afford, because it
Right.
is expensive.
Sure it is.
And we want to be able to give people and families that opportunity to have a Christmas tree in their home. So what we're doing is asking the community to, if you have a gently used Christmas tree or even decor, because you know how we love to change out all of our things constantly.
Yeah.
If you have that, please donate them. We actually partner with Dameron's to be able to do this, which is
And
awesome.
so do they
with
take
Gloria.
the stuff to Dameron's?
Yes, so they will take the things to Dameron's, and in return, and then usually on Tuesday nights,
Right.
Dameron's will have there, and they'll pass out those.
They have the table.
They
on
have
Tuesday
come
night.
to the table.
Right.
Yes, and so not only that, but if we get a call that somebody is in need of a Christmas tree or whatnot, then
I think that's great.
It's
we
a
can
wonderful
supply that.
program.
Yes, and we saw a need for that. And again, you know, I feel like everybody, all children deserve kind of that magic of Christmas. And,
Certainly.
And
Certainly they do.
we all come on hard times that we may not be able to afford certain things at Christmas time. And so we would definitely want to make sure everybody has that magic still happening.
We're all one hospital stay away from being in
Yes.
poverty.
Yeah, it's true.
That's simple.
That's true.
I would think that almost everybody in the country, like me, open your closets and you're going to find a bunch of stuff that you can do without.
Exactly.
That's very nice. And
Exactly.
take
We've
it-
got
take it to
stuff
Dameron's.
everywhere.
I think and it's not like you don't want to take trashy stuff or stuff that's ready. You want to take stuff that looks pretty and is nice, but most people have that.
Yes,
So
it's
this
very
is a
true.
great opportunity to
Well, yeah, to
share
go
it.
through your things, and usually, you know, to go through your things and see what you really don't use or what you
Exactly.
may. Yeah, and then it could be somebody else's joy for Christmas.
Right.
And bring a lot of joy to that. But I mean, beyond that, we do have, you know, Angel Tree happening, and I know Blue Monarch has things happening too with angels, and so there's a lot of different ways to even buy presents for children right now.
And for people that don't know what an angel tree is, that's where you go
Yes.
somewhere where they have a tree with names on it. Is that correct?
Yes, so children in the community
Do you
that
know
are in need.
some of the places that have that?
Yes, so we have a few businesses that we have passed them out to. I can get a list, and if you'll go on United Way of Highway 55 on our Facebook page, we'll put a list out there with businesses
Good.
that you can go and grab a tree, because there's a pretty long
Grab
list.
a name.
Yeah, grab
Go
a
buy
name.
something.
Yes, and then it'll have the child's age, it'll have sizes. And all that. So, and the Salvation Army is more so clothing and essential items to buy for a child, and then you obviously have the fire department that's doing the toys, which is wonderful as well.
And some of the schools used to do that. I don't know if they still do, like give out a list.
And we do partner. The Salvation Army does partner with the schools. That's how we begin the process.
Good.
Is handing out those forms. And then the child takes that form home. So,
And if I'm not mistaken, you know, we're so technical these days that you can do a lot of stuff with a little card. And I think there's something on the bucket this year, Salvation Army bucket, where you can tap your card and
that's fancy.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
have
it'll
to get-
just pick up the
I heard, well,
information.
the other day where I heard that was, you know, Dolly Parton sang on Thanksgiving Day
Yes.
at the Cowboys game, and that Cowboy, that's where they have the big buckets there during the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving every year, and the head general of Salvation Army was there. And because the Cowboys...
And they had a thing that you could tap.
He said that all of the buckets this year will have a thing just like you do your credit card, just walk
Well, I'll
and tap
have to
it.
see if we're fancy like that.
Yeah.
So,
That's
It
pretty
was,
amazing.
you know,
That's
or
pretty-
something, there'll be something there to where you can
I
use
haven't
your
heard
card.
that here, but
And it might have been just there. I don't know, but
Yeah.
they were talking about that, and I
That
thought,
would
well,
be
that's pretty
brilliant.
good, because a lot of people, you know, come by there and
You don't have cash.
they don't have. Yeah, people don't have cash anymore. They don't carry cash.
No, but that's another way to help is the bell ringing, and you know, the Salvation Army bell ringing that you see at Kroger and Walmart and different places like that.
Yeah, we enjoy doing that. We
and
do that
it's
every year. It's a lot of fun. You see a
Yes.
lot of people. You're
You
not in the
do.
Christmas spirit, go ring a bell. Beg money. Get over here and give us some
those
money. What do you
proceeds-
mean you don't have any money? I know you got money. You sold 400 cattle last week. Get over here and put some money in this bucket.
Well, even if it's change, and all those funds
Sure.
again go to buying presents for kids in need, and also just filling needs throughout the year.
Right.
Because they get calls all the time with needs just like we do. So it helps pay utility bills and fill their food pantry and stuff like that. So it's
we were at church one day, and I was telling, they were talking about we need this and we need that, and I said, if everybody, because the country's running out of change, because people don't spend it. It's in buckets and it's in little jars on their dresser.
Yeah, just go pick all that up.
If
and go.
everybody in the church was
I
to bring
agree.
all the change they had,
It'd be a lot of money.
it'd be a whole lot of money. And I was reading the Blue Monarch book last
Yes.
night, and there was a guy who was a janitor at Walmart who comes in about at least twice a year with the change that he sweeps up on the floor at Walmart.
Wow.
And he saves it and brings $300 to $400 in.
Oh, wow.
And as a donation to Blue Monarch.
amazing.
I think
So we have buckets of change.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody. Put it back in circulation.
And we talk about all these different amazing organizations doing different things, but I feel like as United Way, that's what we do. We want to make sure that we are knowledgeable about what's happening in the
heavens, yes,
community
sure,
because
sure.
people come to us and we direct them to a local organization
Right.
that needs that help. So that's part of what we do is, we stay informed on everything that's going on, and that way we can really direct people where they need to go.
I feel like we ought to mention the homeless program
Yes.
before we go.
Yes.
And tell us about
So
that.
the winter shelter is local. It's in Tullahoma, but it's for anybody in the surrounding counties that are without a home, that are experiencing homelessness, to come to one of the churches that are hosting
Right.
this for the night.
Right.
So it's only at night. It'll start December 31st. And last year it started a bit early, but it definitely takes a lot of organization to do this.
Yes, and volunteers.
And
So if you're a church
volunteers.
member,
Yes, if
if you're a church member, volunteer for that.
Yes, and not only that, they could use donations on gloves and hats and scarves and coats and snacks. So that way when they do
Socks.
when they do leave the shelter, hand warmers too. When they do leave the shelter, they can take a blanket, they can take socks or a warmer.
That's a wonderful
Coat,
program.
a better coat.
Exactly. So that's needed too as well, and you can call us, which is on the screen below, or visit one of the churches that are hosting this. We do have a Facebook page too as well. It's just the Tullahoma Winter Shelter Program. And there's schedules on there as well, so it'll tell you exactly where it'll be.
Good. That's right.
And everything. So it's been a great program. We just bought cots for this too, because they were needing more cots for
They
it.
probably need pillows and blankets.
Pillows, but the pillows, we usually let them keep a pillow just because
It's there,
for just to
You
make
don't
sure
have to
everything's clean.
re-clean all of that. stuff and
Yes,
everything.
but we want to make sure that there's things accessible for them to take with them during
Sure.
the day.
I think that is
Yes,
awesome.
so that's another way to really get involved in the community and help. And we also want to make sure that we're, with the volunteers, we try to have a female and a male volunteer every night.
Yeah.
So if that's something of interest, that's a wonderful way to get involved too. And it's also you get to learn, you get to really talk to them, and we want to gain that trust to kind of see if there's more that we can do to help.
And
getting them more
I don't
resources.
think, looking at the volunteers, you don't need to worry, I don't think, for your safety.
No.
Because these people are there and they're thankful that you're there
yes.
helping them.
Yes.
So the last thing they want to do is put that program in jeopardy by being a jerk.
No, they don't want to get kicked out.
Yeah. Cold outside.
It's cold.
Baby,
yeah.
it's cold.
So they want. Honestly, we haven't had any really big problems
Good.
because,
Good.
like I said, the law enforcement does know about the schedule when it's happening, just in case there is.
Right.
a problem. But like you
And
said, they
circle
want to
by.
be able to
Yeah.
stay,
Yeah.
and they know that, you know, they need to follow the rules and stuff. But we're also there. We want to definitely be a resource to help, and I've stayed overnight too, so it's a wonderful thing to be a part of.
Thank you for your
I've
work.
always wondered how a lot of the homeless got the word. Because
They
they're not
know.
living.
I
They're not,
guarantee
They
you
do,
they know.
and when we're doing this every year, they ask about it, and
good.
we usually post it. I mean, I'm going to be honest. There's not many people that don't have a cell phone, and so we post it online everywhere. The churches will post it too. Outside of their churches and stuff, we actually have signs that they will put in the grounds to show where it is and what's happening. So I mean, we've put it out there to the community, and they definitely, it's kind of word of mouth at that point.
That's good.
So
Thank you for your work.
yes, but if you know,
Good deeds done.
exactly, and you know, if you want to get involved, man, there is so many great things to get involved in our community. There really is, and if you want to volunteer or if you want to give, you know, we would definitely invite that as well. Because all the funds that we raise, they stay here.
Right.
So serving our community, helping those
that's
in
what
need.
I like, is doing it for our
Money
community.
stays
Yes,
here.
yes, and we serve coffee more in Warren County, and again, that's our focus. So we want to make sure we're taking care of our community, and then strengthening.
I think they found the right person to be in charge.
Yes, they did.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we
thank you
couldn't
for
do
being
it.
here.
We couldn't do it without, again, the huge community support that we
That's
have,
right.
and
You're
the
exactly
giving
correct.
hearts, because we honestly, it's incredible. It's really incredible to see how people here, you know, how our community.
It is a good community.
It really is. So
It is. People step
if
up.
if there's a need and we put it out there, you know, we have so many people that reach out and say, okay, how can we help? And I think that's wonderful.
Very good.
So thank you.
Well, thank you for being here, and good luck.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful Christmas season.
I hope y'all have a wonderful Christmas as
Okay.
well.
Thank you. We'll be back after these messages.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
right, folks, one of the great things, one of the many great things that happens in our community is done by our Parks and Rec department, and Lyle Russell started it several years back. It's called Lunch and Learn.
He's so smart.
And, you know, there's every kind of topic in the world that gets discussed, from animals to plants to you name it.
Ghost stories.
Yeah, ghost stories.
Lyle is big on that.
And history and different things, books and all kinds of stuff. And the latest one was Mayor Curley, who is ex-Mayor Curley, former Mayor Curley, was talking about Tullahoma history. And we were over there, got some video of that, and we're going to bring you a little bit of that now, because the history of this town is just incredible. And who better to help share it than one of the guys who has kept this town vibrant and alive and full of activity, Mr. Lane Curley.
Absolutely.
Tullahoma's story, our story, begins in the 1840s, 180 years ago. Tullahoma was not even a wide place in the road. In fact, there were no suitable roads leading into town. Another fact, we didn't have a name. That will come a little later. The 1850 census listed 367 people in this little village. There was no post office, stores, or churches. The turning point came in 1848 when Nashville, Chattanooga, and the St. Louis Railroad announced a railroad would be built between Nashville and Chattanooga. The village of Tullahoma was chosen as a good location for a work camp for the railroad workers, since it was nearly the halfway point and one of the highest elevations between Nashville and Chattanooga. The site upon which Tullahoma is built and the 5,000 adjacent acres were originally acquired by land speculators after the railroad announced it would run through Tullahoma. The land speculators, or founders, were men of character, learning, and distinction. Benjamin Deckard, in whose honor Deckard Street was named, General William Moore, for whom Moore Street was named, Dr. T.A. Anderson, a man of rare culture, learning, and travel, Colonel Pierce Anderson, his brother, a graduate of West Point, and Volney Stevenson. Volney Street was named for him. Anderson Street was named in honor of the two Anderson brothers. As the railroad construction workers neared the town, the land company opened the sale of Tullahoma lots. The first sale took place in August 1851. By the end of 1851, the town had its first commercial business, the store of James Grizzard, as well as the Lincoln Hotel. In 1852, a private school was established and a Methodist church opened its doors. On September 2nd, 1852, the 469 residents of this village petitioned the county government in Manchester for an official city charter. Colonel Anderson, the brains of the company, had vision beyond his time. Tullahoma's original streets were so even and wide, it was one of the few places that did not have to widen them upon the advent of the automobile era. Atlantic Street, appropriately given the slogan, "As wide as the Atlantic," contains a 100-foot right-of-way on either side of the railroad. It reached 350 feet in width, and before the creation of the interstate system, was listed in Ripley's Believe It or Not as the widest street in the world. It has never been doubted that the name Tullahoma has an Indian origin, but how did the town acquire its name, and what does it mean? As much as we would like to say, and I did as mayor until I learned better, it does not mean land of golden flowers. I always liked that one. Or an Indian maiden, but that's not the case. In the 1830s, there was a Tullahoma, Mississippi. That village merged with an adjoining village to form Grenada, Mississippi. One of the founders of Tullahoma, Mississippi was a John McLemore of Memphis. In the early 1850s, McLemore visited one of his old friends, one of the founders of Tullahoma, Dr. Anderson. In discussing a name for the new town, he proposed the Indian words Tullahome, meaning red rock, as a name for the little village. founders, Dr. Anderson and his brother, Colonel Anderson, are both buried in Oakwood Cemetery. A plaque there honors their role in the development of Tullahoma. In 1855, the railroad finished construction of the McMinnville branch. This new rail line provided access to markets for the region's hundreds of farms. Wheat, flax, corn, and cotton arrived in town by the wagon loads. The town also became a shipping point for livestock. The First Baptist Church was founded in 1857. The first recorded city officials were elected in 1857, and C.C. Carter became the first mayor. Judge Connolly actually swore in. And he has a picture to prove it.
Last place.
The original plan of the town founders was for the town square to be located in the 13-acre plot in the area around South Jackson Performing Arts Center. The railroad depot would be located at the Deckard Street crossing. It was soon decided, however, to move the depot further north, close to Lincoln and Grundy Streets, to serve both the branch railroad and the main railroad. Future town merchants immediately purchased business sites near the new depot instead of the town square. They saw the advantages of locations near the activities associated with the depot in those days. Although there were many merchants and businesses in Tullahoma, by 1862, business was entirely suspended during Tullahoma's occupation by federal troops. Before the war, Judge Catra, one of the United States Supreme Court judges, had a summer home here, and his grand colonial residence served as headquarters for both Confederate and federal commanders. Tullahoma was only a 10-year-old small village at the commencement of the war, but became a place of some strategic importance. General Bragg fell back from Murfreesboro, and he made Tullahoma his Army's headquarters in 1863. The Tullahoma Campaign opened on June 24, 1863. Tullahoma was the objective of the Union Army of the Cumberland, and Bragg was forced to evacuate the town on the 1st of July. Guarding Tullahoma from the northern entrance was a 5-point earth fort, beginning near the site of the city's old filtration plant on Country Club Drive and extending west across the railroad tracks to Wilson Avenue. The 407 markers in the Tullahoma Confederate Cemetery on Maplewood Avenue mark the dead from the Tullahoma Campaign, plus casualties of illness, as well as the Battle of Murfreesboro and nearby skirmishes. Tullahoma remained under federal occupation for the remainder of the war. Wartime occupation wreaked havoc upon Tullahoma. Today, no buildings remain from the antebellum period. Businesses were destroyed, homes were dismantled, but the tracks of the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad remained, and on these tracks would ride a rapid return to prosperity. Martial law would not end in the town until 1867, and a fire later that year destroyed many of the recently constructed commercial enterprises. But Tullahoma enjoyed a strong economic recovery during Reconstruction. 15 retail merchants had opened stores by 1867. The most significant was a Michael Ross Campbell, who arrived in town in 1865. In the decades to come, Campbell would prove to be a significant civic leader and tireless booster of Tullahoma's commercial and industrial potential. Mr. Campbell may truly be called the father of industry in Tullahoma. The immediate post-war years also brought Tullahoma notoriety as an excellent health and summer resort. Tullahoma was famous for its apparent immunity from epidemics and its health-giving waters. It attracted invalids, pleasure seekers, summer and winter visitors from the north, as well as the southern states. Not a single case of cholera, yellow fever, or any other epidemic scourge has ever been known here. During this time, Tullahoma was the best-known summer resort in Tennessee. Mr. Campbell's factory, plus another woodworking plant owned by Mr. Campbell, employed 200 people in the early 1900s. Hubs, spokes, golf sticks, baseball bats, and hockey sticks were manufactured in Tullahoma. Camp Forest covered 10 square miles and was crisscrossed with 55 miles of roads. Tullahoma had suddenly become a boom town as thousands of workers swarmed the area. 19,000 workers built Camp Forest, which caused shortages of everything. Townspeople opened their homes, their garages, their outbuildings, but it was not enough. That same year, there was a $5 million appropriation for 1,300 acres to build an Army Air Force airfield. William Northern Field became a part of Camp Forest and was a training center for B-24s, B-25s, and P-39 Air Cobras, as well as spotter aircraft for training the Army's artillery observers. The Camp Forest area was ideally situated with hills, valleys, streams, and springs. Among the famous units stationed here was the 2nd Ranger Battalion, which later became distinguished in scaling the 90-foot bluffs at Omaha Beach to overtake the enemy in the Normandy landings. The camp eventually contained, listen to this, 535 barracks, 11 chapels, 4 theaters, 22 large warehouses, a hospital, and headquarters building. There was never a time between September 1941 and March 1944 when there were fewer than 50,000 troops on the post. Camp Forest became a prisoner of war camp in 1942. At the camp, the prisoners worked in such facilities as the hospital, the bakery, kitchens, and the automotive shop. Camp Forest received more than 22,000 POWs during the war. The last POWs left in April 1946. When the war ended in 1945, the campus was declared surplus property. The buildings at Camp Forest were auctioned and dismantled, leaving nothing but roads, brick chimneys, and concrete foundations. One of the Camp Forest buildings is at 502 South Jackson Street and was known for many years as the Red Cross Building. It is now named after the longest serving city administrator in the history of Tullahoma, Jody Balls. Northern Field was put up for sale for $125,000. Tullahoma was given the first chance to purchase it, but on June 14, 1947, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen voted no. It was later purchased by Mr. John Harton for $135,000. By the war's end, Tullahoma had a superior water and sewage department, sealed streets, and good highways, thanks to the federal government. In 1941, Dr. James King opened the Queen City Infirmary, which was the city's only hospital for 26 years. It is estimated Dr. King delivered 1,800 babies. The infirmary was located about where the First Baptist Church Fountain is now. In 1944, the Kings bought the old Crouch Farm on Short Springs Road. They built a handsome 2-story house on their farm. It is classic revival style with portico, columns, and fittingly named Royal Oaks. After Dr. and Mrs. King's death, the farm property was sold and part of it was subdivided into Kings Ridge subdivision. In 1863, Tullahoma voters approved a bond issue for a city hospital. Land for the hospital was donated by the heirs of John W. Harton Sr. The 53-bed hospital opened in 1967 and officially named Harton Memorial Hospital. The hospital, a $1.2 million structure, was financed with federal funds, bonds, and private donations. Today, the 135-bed Vanderbilt Tullahoma Harton Hospital offers state-of-the-art facilities, has 500 employees, and over 200 active and courtesy physicians on staff. In 1953, the city purchased a lot on the corner of Jackson and Grady Streets for a new city hall, which was completed in 1954. It housed all city departments, including police, fire, and the utilities board. One of the finest hotels in the Southeast, the King Hotel, was located near the heart of the city. It was demolished in the early 1970s and located approximately where Sinorama is now.
All right, we're back, and man, that Lane Curley knows some history, doesn't
He does.
Yeah.
I
He
admire
created
that.
a whole lot of it, too.
He really did.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That was fascinating.
Well, we got about 40 seconds left, so we're going to tell you Christmas parade Friday night. If it rains, it'll still have it. Bring you an umbrella.
You know what time it starts?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay.
7 o'clock. Now, we'll go on the air probably at 6:30. Jimmy and Candy will be out on the front porch, and we'll be filming from our parking lot downtown in the greater downtown Tullahoma area.
Right.
So thank our sponsors for that, and our sponsors for this show, and thank y'all for watching. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.